start, see if you can find a tiny rabbit hiding somewhere in this desert. Also, quick think, if you want this illustration as a wallpaper or the line art to color yourself, you can download it on my Ko-fi. Link in the description. Alright, let's build 20 cactus tiles. So the first thing I always start with is the grid. These tiles look kind of ceramic inspired, like a little desert pottery tiles, so I wanted the outlines to feel slightly uneven, a bit hand-drawn, not perfectly digital. Once the grid is down, the whole idea becomes much easier, because each square becomes its own tiny world. And that's the fun part. Each tile is basically a little desert story. For the first pattern tile, I wanted something that felt almost like a mosaic. So instead of drawing just one cactus, I brought it into smaller pieces, almost like ceramic fragments. The color palette here is mostly green and blue. Even though there are other colors, these two really dominate the tile. Everything radiates from the center, almost like a small desert mandala. This kind of pattern tile works really well because it gives the eye a resting point before we jump to the next design. Right next to it, I tried something different. The tile has a red framework, almost like a lattice. Inside the frame, I placed another cactus pattern, but smaller and repeated. So instead of one subject, this one becomes more like a textile pattern or a decorative ceramic tile. It feels slightly more graphic and a little more structured. These kinds of tiles are fun because they start looking like actual architecture decoration. Some tiles are the opposite. Instead of patterns, I wanted a single cactus standing by itself. This gives the composition some breathing room. One of them even looks a little bit like a bonsai with the decorative pot. The pot design actually adds more visual weight, so the cactus doesn't feel like it's floating. These tiles become tiny portraits instead of patterns. For a few tiles, I shifted to softer colors, more pastel tones, a little warmer, a little lighter. One tile almost looks like a cactus wreath, like a floral ring, but made with desert plants. These tiles help balance the stronger green tiles so the whole grid doesn't feel too heavy. Color rhythm is really important here because 20 tiles can get visually chaotic very quickly. This one is actually one of my favorites. Instead of drawing clear cactus shapes, I used a lot of wavy lines. At first glance, it almost looked like a marble or a rock cross-section. But if you stare at it long enough, you start seeing cactus shapes hidden in the waves. I love designs like this because they make you look twice. It's not obvious immediately, but it slowly reveals itself. Now here is the fun part. 3 tiles connect together to form a small desert landscape. Left, center, and right. Together they create a continuous scene with mountain cactus and desert plants. Right in the middle of the scene, there is our tiny rabbit. If you didn't notice it earlier, now you know where it is. These connected tiles break the pattern rhythm and make the grid feel more alive. By the time all 20 tiles are finished, each one has a slightly different mood. Some are patterns, some are cactus portrait, some are decorative motifs, some become tiny landscapes. When they all come together, the grid starts feeling like a collection, almost like a set of ceramic desert tiles. Something you might see in a small courtyard somewhere in the southwest. So if you enjoyed this little desert tile world, you can download the artwork on the coffee. And there's a desktop wallpaper, a mobile wallpaper, and also the line art version if you want to color it yourself. And if you want to see more of my illustration work, you can also visit my Behance portfolio. Alright, and thanks for painting with me today.